History is a lie. How was the Black Douglas, Scotland's greatest hero, described? From the Savannah Morning newspaper dated February 21st, 1904, page 30. The romantic story of the Douglas family. Quote, from Archibald Douglas, 6th Earl of Angus, not only the royal house of Great Britain, but most of the crowned heads of Europe are descended. As to the origin of the name, the tradition is that in the reign of Solvathius, king of the Scots, in the 8th century, one Donald Bain invaded the Scotch territories and routed the royal army. At this point, a man of rank and figure came to the king's assistance and changed defeat into victory. Being desirous of seeing the one who had done so signal a service, the man was pointed out to the king by his color or complexion in these words of the old Gaelic tongue, Sholto Douglas, or behold the swarthy colored man. Hence he was named Sholto the Douglas. The king royally rewarded him with grants of land and created him Lord of Douglas. When reading the book this account is taken from, we see the man later called Douglas was in fact of rank. He was a noble of the realm who already had titles and land. In the book, Sholto Douglas is translated as yonder the black-gray man, instead of behold that swarthy colored man, because black and swarthy are used interchangeably to define dark complexion. We also read that the king imposed upon him the name Douglas because he was delighted by how his lieutenants plainly identified the hero, rather than noble titles and name, simply by his dark complexion. Let's keep reading. The only man of rank in Scotland who could never be prevailed upon to submit to a prince who had no right to the kingdom except that which force gave him was William VII Lord of Douglas, called the Hardy, an adherent of Sir William Wallace. He died a prisoner in the castle of York, England, 1303. His son, James the Black Douglas, is regarded as one of the greatest heroes of his time, and the 70 battles in which he took part, he was victorious in all except 13. End quote. When looking at the coat of arms of James the Black Douglas, 3 stars are prominent. Stars and half moons are symbology used by Moorish and Semitic families in medieval Europe. The main takeaway from this is that, in the 8th century AD, the Douglases were dark-skinned and carried on being so for centuries, including notable figures like the Black Douglas. Contrary to what modern historians suggest, nicknames like the Black were used to describe someone's complexion rather than their hair color, most likely due to them being darker than other members of their family. King Charles II, who was nicknamed the Black Boy when he was little, is a well-known example of a color nickname. The religious fervor of Protestant Scots saw them rise many times against the crown. As a result, many ended up as prisoners of war and were shipped as slaves or indentured servants to the Americas. Despite this and later voluntary immigration to the land of the free, we still find primary source evidence of brown and black Scotsmen in the 1800s serving in the Royal Highlanders. Like and share for more lost history. And that's why we say...